Hello everyone, this is DD1 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Gemmy Pet Rat animatronic. Now this is a very obscure item, so not too many people have one, but in front of me right here I have all three, technically speaking. Now the one on the left is not a Gemmy piece. You might be confused saying, well, how is that? They look so similar to each other. Well, I'll get to that in a minute here. But basically, this was supposed to be the pet rat of Dr. Shivers. All the Tabletop Lab series items are just like a weird twist on something. For example, the brains with teeth that crawl on the floor and burp and hum and all that. And then you have, throbbing hearts, crawling arms, dissected frog candy dish, all sorts of things like that. And one of the things was the pet rat. Now this item is very obscure because it was only really sold in a couple places. Some like party stores got them in, so like private small stores, so they were wholesaled to some degree. Doesn't seem like a very large scale kind of wholesaling on those. But they were mainly sold at Garden Ridge in the United States and Asda in the UK. And I have three rats in front of us here. So we have the non-Gemmy one, a prototype model, and a production model with the box, or the tray, if you want to call it that. So basically what happened with this item is one of the Gemmy designers was just walking around in some store, I don't know where, maybe it was a store, a trade show, I have no idea, and saw this rat item and was like, you know what, I really like that, and I think we can do better. So that's basically the lore dump there. That's what happened. Because there are several flaws with this thing. The audio is very terrifying and atrocious, for one. And then there's just very little shaping going on and some extra details. And then none of the nails or anything are painted. And I guess they just looked at it and it's like, well, let's make it our own. So they took inspiration from the Rat Fink cartoon character from several years back, and they gave it these bulging eyes. They gave it painted nails or claws, whatever you want to say, and they gave it chimey compatibility. So on the prototype here, it was originally like in the wrist area, and in production, they put it in the foot. Now this one doesn't seem to have any kind of chimey function. It's either on or off, and then sound activated. It looks like there's a much larger speaker in there, but honestly it sounds pretty similar. And you can see just the overall build quality is not that great. I've heard that this is a techie piece, but I'll be 100% real with you guys. I am not sure. It doesn't say who made it anywhere. But yeah, this obviously is not held up the best. So there's just an on and off switch. And then with the prototype here, you can see that it has very similar setup, honestly, on and off, and 3 AA batteries, and you can see the little speed dial in there since it's a pre-production model. And then here's the bottom of the produced model, so it's actually tooled for this item. You can see that it is on and sensor instead of on and off. And you can also take note that there are plastic things in the feet to keep it up. And this one does not have that, so it's not the most stable in build quality. This one is a little more stuffed with foam, I think, than this one. But because of the plastic in the feet, it just really keeps its shape well. So these aren't too different from each other. But then of course this one's very different. And the non-Gemmy one is a bit larger. Here's just a side view of them all. And there are multiple phrases on the Gemmy one. They're all just a bunch of growls and gargling noises, kind of chaotic sounds, honestly. This is also a thinner pour of the soft PVC vinyl rubber. like I can much easierly squeeze that than this. And I think that overall it's pretty much the same, although I guess it just varies because this seems like it might be a little thicker pour in the feet, but just small little differences like that are present. You can see that it's very different on the bottom here. And I will be activating two of these. I will not be activating the one in the middle. I think I've lost track, done a video on it, but I think a wire came off with a switch or something because he's being a little tedious with me today. But yeah, I guess I'll just go ahead and demo these guys for you. This thing is very loud. That other LED is very dim. This is actually like the third or fourth activation I've ever done on this thing. And then here we have the produced Gemmy model. Now the programming is a little bit different between these. You can see that one at the end had a part where it sat still and the eyes flashed. I think the audio tracks, it might just be a speed thing, but they are a little shorter on this one as well. But you can see just how there is a lot more thought process that kind of went into the engineering, at least, of this character versus this one. Now, one thing someone might notice about this rat is even though it's kind of got less going on engineering-wise, it actually does move around a bit more since there's less of a firm build on the inside and it's just kind of a mech without any real structure around it. The arms and sometimes on some of them the tail actually move around a bit. You can also see that this one has a lot shorter of activations. It's more of like a jump scare item, and this is more of a like scare item, if you will. But yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and show the packaging. There's no crazy lore dumps or anything on the bottom here. So it says pet rat. His eyes light up and he makes horrible sounds. What an understatement. Count your fingers after touching this creepy rodent. You had to love the little blurbs they put on these old boxes. There's a lot of character in there. But yeah, that about does it. Sorry I couldn't show the prototype one in action in this video, but there is other footage out there. Frankly, this sound, it makes us a lot more quiet. It's a little more clear, less piercing to the ear. And it also is a shorter activation. And this one also moves just honestly a little more like this one does. This one, it's very precise in its movement. This one's all over the place. And this one's kind of in the middle. Well, let me know in the comments what you guys think of these. And yeah, quite literally, someone at Gemmy saw this one and liked it and thought they could do better. And that is what happened. So I guess the old IP information was not too protected there, or they just didn't care. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.